Wonderful. Perfect. Okay. Welcome back. This is week 2 in the Your Life is Your Choice series. Once again, my name is Sarah. I am a leadership coach, ontological leadership coach. And just a couple of disclaimers before I jump in is this is coaching. It is not therapy. Coaching is forward thinking. It is no matter how your life has gone to this point, you have the power to make it go differently from here on out. And so that is coaching for you. And also, I am not a medical professional, so obviously, if you are seeking medical treatment for something, you get to choose which message you want to learn from. But I am not a medical professional. I have no medical training. I just have my own stuff to go on. So just a couple of disclaimers there. A concept that I want to introduce for this week's video. This week's video is about your state of being your choice. There's a concept that is called either at effect or at cause. And at effect means that you are victim to your circumstances or victim to your job or victim to whatever. You're at effect of it. So you respond based on what this circumstance presents for you, right? And at cause, meaning you are in control and proactive about how it's going to go regardless of circumstances. And that's kind of important for the whole state of being conversation. So we're talking about state of being. So your state of being is your choice, right? How you are on the day-to-day, in the moment-to-moment, just regardless of, well, what I like to say is how I am when the shit hits my fan is I'm happy and I'm joyful or whatever it is. Maybe you want to be energetic. Maybe you want to be in a constant state of bliss or a constant state of gratitude or whatever. So how you want to be when the shit hits your fan is how you choose to be, right? So some thoughts here are, just like I mentioned, gratitude. No matter what happens, you have the choice of whether you want to complain and whine and grouse about something, or if you want to be grateful for maybe even an ounce of what happened, because bad shit's gonna happen all the time, right? You're gonna miss your train, you're gonna miss your flight, you're not gonna get to have the dinner that you expected to have, or whatever, however it goes, right? But you can always be grateful for something. Like maybe you get to meet a cool person because you missed your train, or maybe you miss a train accident because you missed the train you thought you needed to be on, right? The universe is always looking out for you in that respect. And if you keep part of that in mind as well, that everything is constantly working in your favor, that can just magically shift everything for you. Everything is in my favor. Last year, I was expected to compete at USA Judo Nationals, and I did not end up competing because I couldn't get a flight at the last minute. I was going to get some support from my club to get the flight, and at the last minute, there were circumstances and I didn't get a flight, and I didn't get to go compete, and I was sad. I was really sad. I was disappointed. I'd put in all this training and now I couldn't go. And everything works in my favor. I ended up getting sick that weekend. And so I wouldn't have probably been able to compete anyway. But the point is that everything is always working in our favor, and our responsibility to ourselves is to be grateful for it and to be at cause for, like I wasn't a victim to circumstance. It just happened. It happened in my favor. It happened for me to learn from it, right? There's happened to me. Like if you say everything's happening to me, you're at effect or victim to your circumstances. If you say things are happening for me, right, you are at cause. You are creating or being proactive no matter what shit hits your fan, no matter what circumstances, come into your world, right? You're at cause. So things are happening for you as opposed to happening to you. Anticipation versus anxiety. I'm going to have an air conditioner and a train. So that's what happens when you record outside. It's all good. So anticipation versus anxiety. Another train. Anticipation versus anxiety. Here I go again. Okay, let's try this third time. So when you're about to do something new and you're nervous and all these things, your palms are sweaty, you have to constantly go to the bathroom, you're constantly itchy, whatever it is. So you're anxiously awaiting this thing to happen. You're nervous about it. I invite you to shift that thinking to you're anticipating it, you're excited about it, you're looking forward to it, you're excited for the outcome, or even in the moment, like in the unknown moment of how it's going to go, right? Embrace the anticipation, and then be grateful for the experience of it, right? All of these things can shift your state of being, and this is all your choice. You know, you can be like, ugh, this is gonna suck balls, and you know, the lighting is bad, and the this is bad, and the that is bad, and the audience is only 4 instead of 10, and however the hell. That's one way of looking at it. Or there's, wow, 4 people showed up, and the lighting was perfect. It set the tone, it set the mood, all of these things, and this happened exactly how it was supposed to happen, right? So that's gratitude, anticipation, and can completely shift your way of being. You hear lots of runners talk about like smile every mile, and a lot of my running coaches have always said smile while you're running. It tricks your brain into believing that you're having fun, right? And running is not my favorite. I do it anyway because it does good for my body, it does good for my soul. And so I do try to smile when the race is getting tough, or the training run is getting tough. Like, I try to smile, I try to come up with something to giggle about or whatever, try to change up the music or something like that, right? It tricks your brain into believing, but that is all my choice. I could grumble and grouse and this run sucks and this and that, or I can smile about it and change my way of thinking, choosing my way of thinking, so that I have a much more the experience that I want of it. Basically, you're choosing your adventure, you're choosing the experience that you want of the event. Okay, so you get to choose your state of being, you get to choose how it goes, you get to choose. And you know, sometimes this can lead to major life changing choices, and that's okay. That's also when it gets difficult and tough. Choosing to move to California was probably one of the hardest decisions I've ever made. I had no idea what to expect, and the more I embrace the unknown, the more joyful I am, just because the unknown keeps allowing and opening doors for more unknown stuff that's like super cool and I never expected to happen, and it's fabulous and I'm loving it. So while choosing is difficult, what would have happened had I stayed in Illinois? I don't really want to think about that, but I mean, that's kind of where I suggest you to think, is like, you know, what would have happened if I hadn't chosen, even though I had wanted to do this for so long? You know, maybe I would have continued to battle the demons in my head, because they still exist, even though I choose for them to be quiet most of the time and let me do my thing. They still exist. So you can't make depression go away. That's just it's a misnomer in my opinion. I just get to choose how it goes and how much of my day it's going to take up. And so you constantly have a choice. Obviously, I respect the fact that some people do have legit mental illness, but there are definitely life choices, and I'll talk about this later on when I talk about health and well-being in a later video. There are definitely choices you can make for your life and for your lifestyle that can improve your state of being, regardless of depression, anxiety, and all those things. So with that, let me close for this video, and I will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in. Again, my name is Sarah, and this series is called Your Life, Your Choice. Have a wonderful day.